All right, let's just jump right in. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to capture the absolute essentials of Dave Asprey's totally disruptive biohacking guide, The Bulletproof Diet, in 8 minutes or less. We're distilling years of intense biological research and wild experimentation into a clear roadmap to help you upgrade your energy, drop weight, and really sharpen your focus.
So what if everything you knew about dieting was just flat out wrong? We're starting with this provocative question because, let's be real, traditional calorie counting has failed millions of people. And that includes a young Silicon Valley millionaire named Dave Asprey. Despite massive career success, Dave was struggling with obesity, weighing in at nearly 300 pounds. He was fighting constant brain fog, chronic sinus infections, and just severe fatigue. And honestly, the craziest part? He was working out 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week, and strictly restricting his calories to about 1,800 a day. By all conventional logic, the weight should have been falling off, but that extra fat wouldn't budge, and his brain simply wouldn't perform the way he needed it to.
As nutrition expert J.J. Virgin perfectly puts it, food is information, not a math equation. This really captures the core paradigm shift of this whole explainer. Your body isn't some simple bank account where calories in minus calories out equals weight loss. No, your body is a highly complex chemistry lab. Every single bite you take is sending a direct informational signal to your biology, literally telling your hormones, your brain, and your cells exactly how to behave. And that brings us to the book itself, The Bulletproof Diet. Asprey details how he finally dropped over 100 pounds, completely eliminated that awful brain fog, and basically upgraded his entire life. How did he pull it off? Well, he leaned heavily into his background in computer hacking and artificial intelligence. He just stopped listening to outdated dietary math and started treating his own biology like a complex computer system that desperately needed debugging. He calls this specific process biohacking, which is the art of using technology to change the environment both inside and outside of your body to take control and make it do what you want. It's all about actively measuring and tweaking variables to find out exactly what makes your body and mind perform at their absolute peak. Just like a computer hacker looks for a backdoor into a system to take control, a biohacker uses data. We're talking blood tests, brainwave monitors, and some pretty intense self-experimentation to take full control of their own biochemistry.
Through all this intense biohacking, Asprey discovered the real enemies holding us back. These hidden saboteurs aren't a lack of willpower that makes us tired and overweight. They're hidden biological triggers. Chronic inflammation, for instance, isn't just about having sore joints. It literally causes brain fog, puffiness, and makes your body store fat. Then you've got anti-nutrients, things naturally found in a lot of foods, like lectins, phytothiots, and oxalates, which actively rob your body of performance. And perhaps most surprisingly, mold toxins or mycotoxins. These guys frequently hide in low-quality coffee and grains, and they will completely sap your energy and mental clarity.
Section 2, Fueling with Fantastic Fats. Flipping the dietary script. Instead of avoiding fat like we've been told to do for, decades, your diet should actually consist of massive amounts of the right kinds of healthy fats. We're talking 55% of your daily calories. You pair that with 20% high-quality protein, 20% vegetables, and just a tiny 5% sliver for fruit or starch.
So, why so much fat? Well, by treating high-quality fats like grass-fed butter and MCT oil like high-octane fuel for a high-performance engine, you actually force your body to shift its primary energy source. You're upgrading from the inside out by teaching your body to burn fat for energy instead of sugar. This process completely clears away the sluggishness, stabilizes your mood, and wipes out that midday brain fog that derails so many of us.
Let's look at the contrast here. Traditional diets demand that you eat low-fat, high-carb, meticulously count every single calorie, and graze all day long just to barely survive the hunger pangs. The bulletproof approach is the exact opposite. You eat high-fat, low-carb meals that are so incredibly satisfying that you genuinely thrive without cravings. That naturally leads you to trust your hunger and seamlessly transition into intermittent fasting.
Which brings us to Section 3, Bulletproof Intermittent Fasting, the timing of your fuel.
Instead of a typical breakfast that spikes your blood sugar and sends you crashing by 10 a.m., you follow a very specific schedule. You consume satiating, pure fats in the morning, specifically through Asprey's famous butter-infused bulletproof coffee. This gives your brain instant energy while keeping your body locked in a state of mild, fat-burning ketosis. You don't actually consume any protein or carbs until your nutrient-dense meals much later in the day. And speaking of carbs are for dessert, seriously. In a truly disruptive twist on the traditional diet, you actually save your very limited, permitted starches and fruits for the evening. Think about it. If you eat carbs in the morning, you're going to crave them all day. But by treating them almost like a dessert at dinner time, you avoid high triglycerides, and you actually give your brain the raw materials it needs to produce serotonin, which helps you sleep deeply and wake up fully recovered.
Section 4. Upgrading your life, because efficiency is everything.
As Dr. Doug McGuff perfectly points out, exercise should stimulate a positive physiological adaptation, meaning it must be brief, intense, infrequent, safe, and purposeful. The bulletproof goal is actually to work out less, but gain way more resilience. Look, most people do excessive, chronic cardio on a starvation diet, which just drives up dangerous inflammation and cortisol. Instead, your exercise should be brief and intense. You want to stimulate that physiological change without tearing your immune system down in the process.
So, how do we actually navigate all of this day to day? Ultimately, managing your health is about using the Bulletproof Roadmap. Asprey categorizes food into 3 neighborhoods. You want to spend most of your time in bulletproof neighborhoods, eating those highly beneficial, low-toxin foods. You venture cautiously into suspect neighborhoods, testing how your unique biology handles things like certain nuts or nightshades. And you absolutely steer clear of the kryptonite neighborhoods. These are the harmful, inflammatory foods, the factory-farmed meats, processed sugars, and artificial additives that pretty much guarantee weight gain and brain fog.
Let's step back for a second here. Food is really just a means to an end. The real goal of the Bulletproof Diet isn't just about dropping a pant size. It's about eliminating the biological friction in your life. It's about turning on your human brain, crushing stress, and leaving you asking yourself, what will you be capable of when performance becomes absolutely effortless?
It's such an empowering way to look at human biology, right? Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to 8 Minutes and never miss what matters.